Now, here's a great one for not only nostalgia fans, for fans of films from the 1980s, yes, guilty as charged, but also fans of physical media. So this week, this video has been recorded on the 13th of October 2025. Arrow Video have released a 4K and a Blu-ray edition of, it's not necessarily one of my favorite films ever, but it's a film I absolutely love, and it is Return of the Living Dead from 1985. It's a film I remember renting on VHS from my video store around 1986, I guess it would have been. And it would have been a pan and scan version. I would have watched it on like a 15-inch color portable, or if I watched it on the main TV in the living room, it might have been a 20-inch 4.3 TV. It certainly wasn't in 4K, wasn't in Blu-ray quality. I haven't seen The Return of the Living Dead for decades. I'd probably seen it maybe 3-4 times previous to that, but I haven't watched it for many, many years. So when Arrow decided, hey, we're going to release this film, then it sort of piqued my attention because I'm not seen that film for a while. But then I saw the list of special features on it. And anybody who watches any of these review things that I do, or listens to the podcast, or watches the unboxings, knows that I love my special features. I really, really do. I love them. It's why I still buy physical media, but I also like to own the film that I, in fact, have in my hands. A lot of films that go onto streaming will just disappear. Or if the internet's down, you can't watch it, can you? And that sucks. So, Return of the Living Dead. I learned a lot from watching the special features. And where to start with that film? If you've not seen it, it's kind of a wacky, weird, comedic comedy horror. I didn't know until I watched the special features that originally the plan for that was to be a follow-up to George Romero's Night of the Living Dead, but that didn't happen because George Romero went off to do Dawn of the Dead, and the other producer, John Russo, he sort of decided to work on Return of the Living Dead, which fell into the hands of Tobe Hooper, the master of horror himself, who gave us Texas Chainsaw Massacre and many, many others, including Poltergeist. It fell into his hands. He was working on it for a little while, but then he went off to do Life Force in 1985, 84, I guess that was being shot. And so writer Dan O'Bannon, who helped create Alien and the wonderful Free Jack, if you've not seen Free Jack for a while, go check that out. Dan O'Bannon came on and like, you know what, I think I can direct this. So he became the director of The Return of the Living Dead. It is the film where the line "send more cops" comes from, when the zombies are attacking ambulancemen and attacking cops and eat them, and then they run out of food supply, and one of them picks the radio up and he's like, "Send more cops." So that's where that line comes from. It is pure 80s, from the soundtrack to the fact that the main characters are all punks. They've got names like Trash. It is a film of its time, but it is a film that if you watch it nowadays and you remember when it was made, it's such a blast. I had an absolute blast rewatching Return of the Living Dead. So the film itself is great. If you haven't seen it, I highly do recommend you check it out. It's about an hour and a half long. So then we get into the special features. Now, because I'm going to be reading a lot of these special features off, I'm going to not look like an absolute dimwit and just be looking away from the screen all the time. I'm going to put some nice images of Return of the Living Dead on screen and then put a bit of text on there for you, just so I can go through them while I finish the remainder of this video. So the film itself is an hour and a half long, so 90 minutes we're up to there. I like to do arithmetic on some of these videos just to show how much content you are getting within these. So we're up to an hour and a half of the movie. Right. Now, there's 2 discs on this thing. So on disc number 1, we are getting 4, yes, count them, 4 full-length audio commentaries. I love a commentary. I have hundreds of them that I've not yet listened to. But I've so many commentaries, so little time. But this one, 4 commentaries. So the first one we're getting is by writer-director Dan O'Bannon and the film's production designer, William Stout. The second one we are getting is by William Stout again, but he is joined by the actors Don Calfa, Brian Peck, Linnea Quigley, Beverly Randolph, and Alan Troutman. So I'm guessing that will just focus the majority of it on the acting side of things. The third one we get, some more actors coming in here, Tom Matthews and John Philbin, and they are joined by the makeup effects artist Tony Gardner. So we're probably going to learn a lot about the makeup, including how Tarman and all that sort of crazy zany stuff was made. And then the fourth audio commentary is by people not involved in the film. I'm usually more of a fan of commentaries that talk about people that were involved in the film. However, Gary Smart and Chris Griffiths are pretty much experts on this movie, so their commentary is definitely of interest to me. But so we get 3 commentaries by people involved in the film, and this fourth one by fans of the film. So 4 commentaries. So we're up to film's an hour and a half, 4 commentaries, 6 hours. So we're up to 6 hours worth of extra features already. Now, Arrow have not finished yet. So we're getting a whole bunch of featurettes. Now, some of these are archival from 2012, but that is fine. I will go through the running times of them as well. So the first one is The Origins of the Living Dead, which is an interview with the author John Russo. That is a 15-minute featurette. The next one, also from 2012, The FX of the Living Dead. This focuses on, strangely enough, the special effects of the movie, and there's a lot of special effects in this movie. That is 33 minutes long. The next one, Party Time, the music of Return of the Living Dead. Fascinating featurette, by the way. 2012, 29 minutes, an extra half hour there. Next up, we get Horror's Hallowed Grounds. Now, I see quite a few of these on a lot of the Arrow ones, so I'm guessing this is either a YouTube series or a TV series where Sean Clark goes around some of the locations of these films. That one lasts 10 minutes. The Dead Have Risen, which is from 2007, which has a lot of the actors, getting back together again, including Linnea. And that's 20 minutes long. Still not finished yet. Designing the Dead, which is an archive featurette from 2002. This is Dan O'Bannon and William Stout. That's 13 minutes. Then there's The Decade of Darkness, which is from 2007. This is about 1980s horror classics in general. But it's nice that Arrow have included that on this disc. That is 23 minutes long. And then possibly my least favorite extra feature on this disc, but also it is quite interesting to watch, and it runs for 29 minutes. The reason it's my least favorite is because all these deleted scenes, which are all in like one lump, but it lasts for about half an hour, they're all taken from a VHS work print. So you can imagine what the quality looks like on that. But we're still not finished on these featurettes, by the way. There is still more, because this is a 2-disc set. Now, the second disc is entitled More Brains, and this is just included in a limited edition set. So if you buy the standard one, you're not getting this. This is a great reason to upgrade to the limited edition. Obviously, the limited edition one's going to cost a little bit more. I will put the retail prices on the screen here for you now, but it is worth it. So on disc 2, we are getting a 2017 feature-length documentary called More Brains. Now, sometimes feature-length can be like 55 minutes. I've been suckered into that a couple of times. We're like, I don't know, is that feature-length? I don't know what the technical number is to make something feature-length as opposed to short, but sometimes you can get fooled. Not in this case. This is a 2-hour documentary, or 1 hour 59 minutes if you want to be really, really exact. And it's about the making of the film. There's a lot of interviews with the cast and crew in this film. I must admit, when I press play on More Brains, I'm like, do we really need a 2-hour documentary on the making of Return of the Living Dead, a 90-minute film? The answer is yes, because the 2 hours flew by. The documentary is excellent. And it is one of those really, really good documentaries that you would you would just recommend it your friends watch and stuff. So it gives you a lot of insight. There's probably a little bit of overlap between the content in the documentary and some of the other stuff that you've seen on the special features. But so what? It's just great to be able to spend a couple of hours with all these people reminiscing about the stories of how they got involved in the film. There's an amazing story about Linnea Quigley's nude scene on the gravestone and how the film's execs were freaking out, going, "Oh my God, you're showing too much. We're all going to get in trouble," and people were being body casted and all that. So there's a lot of zaniness. It is a warts and all documentary, and bless them for it. It's really, really good. Now on disc 2, we also get some more special features. We get the final interview with Dan O'Bannon, which lasts 30 minutes. There are 15 minutes worth of deleted scenes from the More Brains documentary. There is a really weird featurette, which Return of the Living Dead in 3 minutes, which runs for 3 minutes and 4 seconds. So technically, I didn't quite do it. Although 3 minutes and 4 seconds is still 3 minutes if you round it down. Unusual, clever, but unusual. And then finally, Resurrected Settings, the filming locations today, which is a 10-minute featurette. So I'm not expecting you all to mentally add all that lot up, which is why I did it for you. So what you are getting is it's roughly 5.5 hours worth of extras for this 90-minute film. Now those 5.5 hours do not include the 6 hours worth of commentaries. So you're talking like 11.5 hours of extra features for a 90-minute film. I wish every movie did this, certainly all my favorite movies, but that is mind-blowing. And I wonder how many of you, and wonder whether I'll do it, will work their way through this entire set. But if you pick this set up for the retail price and it sits on your shelf, that's 11.5 hours worth of content that you've got, or 11.5 hours extra content. So technically you watch the film, that's 13 hours, isn't it? Crazy amount of content. Well done, Arrow. Absolutely phenomenal. Is the film any good? Is the question that maybe should have been at the beginning of this video. God, the film's a blast. It's very much a film of its time. It's great if you love that sort of 1980s punk rock craziness, splatter effects, cheesy dialogue, great music, then of course, definitely check out Return of the Living Dead. Is it the best, one of the best releases of the year, physical media? Oh God, yeah. I don't know if it's, for me personally, the best release of the year, because I haven't really sat down and pondered that and go, what is my favorite one? There's been quite a few physical media releases this year that I thought have been amazing. But for sheer love and affection towards an 80s film, Return of the Living Dead by Arrow is definitely up there as one of the best, if not the best, physical release of the year. It is still October, so maybe there's something else coming around the corner. I think that this has set a pretty good benchmark for physical media releases. So the team behind this one, absolutely amazing. So do check it out. The film's fun, popcorn, snacks, dim the lights, put your feet up and have a laugh.